YouTube, what's going on? It's Juan Gotti here with another Washington Commanders video, and in today's video, I'm here with the first post-game recap of the year as we just finished watching the Carolina Panthers versus the Washington Commanders. So without further ado, let's get straight into today's video. But before we do, make sure you go down below, leave a like on this video, subscribe if you're new, and turn on post notifications so you get notified when I upload a video about the NFL, or in this case, our Washington Commanders. We're on the road to 5,000 subscribers, so that subscribe button again if you haven't already. Don't forget to follow me on my social media links down below in the description, and cop some Juan Gotti Talking Sports merch. Let's get straight into today's video.
Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Louis. I'm about to fuck this joint up. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. When I hop in the booth, they fuck with my sound. Put that shit on the scale, we taxin' pound for pound. Nigga keep this and put them in the ground. My shit in your ear and tell me how it sound. A nigga too smart can catch me out of bounds. Let's go. That bitch got cooked like some chicken. And he lying, he not rapping what he living. Yeah, that's my cousin, but this shit a business. Work that bitch out just like we doing fitness.
So, what an entertaining game we just finished watching as the Commanders fall short 21-23 to the Carolina Panthers. But again, the final score doesn't matter. It's all about the player performances. Now, before we get into the obvious, I want to talk about some of the backups. Steven Parker, safety, was making a name for himself today. He was all around the ball, making tackles, making plays. He was hyped up, and he was really, really good today. I was finding myself saying his name a lot. Daniel Wise had himself a day, making a couple tackles or a sack. Milo Eifel laid the wood on somebody, crossed the middle of the field. There were some guys that made a few names for themselves. I like the backup offensive line as far as their run game goes. Chris Paul was looking really solid in the run game. I did write down some notes, so we'll jump quickly into the notes before we get to the obvious of what we need to talk about here. Let's see what else. Kyrick McGowan, number 83. Another guy, a receiver that was really, really solid. And now Kevin Harmon is the last, note that I want to talk about as far as a guy that should have made a catch. He should have caught it. Sam Howell put it on the money. But he bobbled it. Then he tried to touch it when he fell out of bounds. But let's get into the obvious, man. Starting from the top of the game, man. Antonio Gibson fumbles yet again. And I'm a big Antonio Gibson fan. You guys know, I've been defending Antonio Gibson for the longest, man. And that was a big issue coming into this season, was his fumbling issue. And a lot of you guys said it. That's the reason why you like Brian Robinson more. But I was trying to defend Gibson because I'm like, he's going to work on it. He isn't going to fumble as much this year. He says he's been working on it. First game of the year. And it's not even a regular season game. It's a preseason game. He fumbles. And I'm like, come on, Gibson, man. You're just giving the people that want Brian Robinson to start over you more ignition and more fuel to have a reason to not like you and want Brian Robinson to start over you, bro. And with Gibson fumbles, yes, it's bad that he fumbles, but what's even worse is when he fumbles. He never fumbles when we're driving and when we're on the opposing side of the field. He always fumbles when we're inside our own 20, 15, on our own side of the field, man. So then when he fumbles and the other team recovers, as the Panthers did, they are in prime position to score. They're in the red zone. So that's the biggest issue with his fumbling. It's not that he fumbles, because it is that he fumbles, but it's also when and where he fumbles. That's the biggest issue then. So once he fumbled, Brian Robinson came in the game, and the guy looks amazing, man. Brian Robinson, I love how he just hits the hole and go. He's not really patient. And he's not really like, determined, thinking too much. He just goes. Like, he just hits the hole and go. He was bulldozing his way. He got him a touchdown. Brian Robinson looks really, really good, man. And it was already a little concern about Brian Robinson possibly taking carries away from Antonio Gibson. But if Antonio Gibson's gonna keep fumbling like he did today, it's going to be an easy decision for them to make, man. So Brian Robinson had himself a day. Carson Wentz, man, he looked really, really solid. 10 for 13, 74 yards today. Only thing, if I'm really nitpicking, because it wasn't really nothing he did wrong. If I'm nitpicking, maybe he held on the ball a little too long on some plays. Jahan Dawson, he could have hit. I don't know if they said it was more on Jahan. He stopped running, but I thought he originally overthrew him. But we'll watch the tape. Terry McLaurin looks apart, and along with Antonio Gibson fumbling, he kind of on that pass that Carson Wentz got hit on. He missed the pass block. It was kind of a poor pass blocking attempt by Antonio Gibson, but Terry McLaurin looks the part. You know, another guy that was really, really solid today, Amani Rodgers, the tight end that was a former quarterback, now turned tight end. He looked really solid. Carson Wentz was going to him early and often. He was making every single catch. So he's a guy, along with Stephen Parker on the defensive side of the ball, you want to keep your eye on that could possibly make this roster. Now, again, I was saying I thought Sammy Reyes was going to get a shot to show what he can do with all these injuries to the tight end position, but they put out Amani Rodgers, and Amani Rodgers didn't disappoint, so he may be a guy that can make this roster in the absence of Logan Thomas early in the season. Moving on to another guy that was impressive today, Sam Howell. Sam Howell was amazing. We were down 20-6, came in, and he led us to 2 back-to-back 14 unanswered point drives, or 2 touchdown drives. Had a chance to win it late, but we couldn't get it done because the defense sold the Jeremy Reeves with the illegal touching, and then Shaka Toney with the hit on Matt Corral's head area, unnecessary roughness. So we had a chance to win late, but we couldn't. But Sam Howell, man, looked amazing, making all the right throws, used his legs to get into the end zone, man. He was doing everything correct, man, and it was fun to see. There's no quarterback battle, no quarterback controversy going on. Let's not start that, guys, but it is fun to see him play well. Taylor Heinicke had an okay day. He did have an interception, but other than that, he looked like Taylor Heinicke of old, you know, being fun to watch, moving around the pocket, extending plays with his legs. It was just overall fun to have the boys back in town. Andrew Norwell, he made a good play on a Brian Robinson screen that led to about, I want to say, a 15-yard gain. Curtis Samuel had a reception. He looked fine today. It was just overall great to see these guys finally don the Commanders. The white uniforms were amazing. And again, we didn't get the job done, but that doesn't matter. The only, bad takeaways from this game today probably would have been Antonio Gibson fumbling. We got to nip that in the bud, AG, man. Like, I root for you. I'm a huge fan of you, man. And I want you to be the starting running back for this team. But if you're going to continue to fumble, your days in Washington as being the bell cow, the number 1 back, could start to get numbered here quickly. Now, I'm not giving up on you, but Brian Robinson looks amazing. J.D. McKissick looks fine, looks like himself. And my guy, Jared Patterson, Jonathan Williams also looked good too. But Jared Patterson, he looked good too. They should have gave my man a touchdown, but we eventually got it with Sam Howell. Overall, it was a solid day for the boys. Got a lot to clean up, though. My biggest concern is the defensive depth, man, because at times they were picking us apart. P.J. Walker was picking us apart. The middle of the field, the linebacking core is still my biggest issue. Outside of Jamin Davis and Cole Holcomb, we've been talking about it all offseason, and I'm finally seeing it on the field in the game, and it's no better. Everyone's wide open in the middle of the field. We need some linebacker depth, bro. I don't want to have David Mayo out there. I don't want Milo Eifel out there. Maybe Nate Gary, but we need to address this linebacking core. And that's probably my biggest two takeaways from today's game that we need to address. Antonio Gibson's fumble, that's an issue. The linebacking depth is an issue. We need to address it. But other than that, it was a pretty solid day for the team, and it's fun. The football is back, baby. Michael, Mark and Michelle made a play today. He made a nice reception. Everybody got in on the fun today, it seemed like. So it was a great game to watch, to see the boys back on the field for the first time in a while. Now we'll be moving forward, traveling to Arrowhead next Saturday to play our second preseason game. So make sure you guys stay tuned for that. But there you have it. It's me and boy Juan Gotti. Like, comment, subscribe. Host of Washington Commanders. I appreciate everyone that was in the stream today. Make sure you guys come next week again for the game versus the Kansas City Chiefs at 4 p.m. We'll be live for that too. So again, as always, me and boy Juan Gotti. Like, comment, subscribe. Host of Washington Commanders. We're on the road to 5,000 subscribers. So that subscribe button again if you haven't already. Let me know what's some guys that most impressed you today during the preseason game, and what's something that you are a little bit concerned about. Leave it down below in the comment section. It's me and boy Juan Gotti. Like, comment, subscribe. Host of the Washington Commanders. We're on the road to 5,000 subscribers. So that subscribe button again if you haven't already. I'm out. Peace. Cross me one time, that's gonna get you pop. Get you pop, get you drop. Slide on the one way that get you locked on. I ain't stopping till with me and all the